Okay, hello, good morning. It's the 13th of June, just after 9. It's already absolutely blazingly warm. It's actually really warm and sunny, and I'm here in a shade because otherwise the filming is very difficult. We can't see very much. So we're going to start the allotment tour kind of from a different angle. I've promised myself that I'm going to do allotment tours every month because every month is so much changing and so much to see. So let's start. We're all surrounded by quite a lot of wild plants and wildlife. This is cow parsley just finishing off. These are the trees. This hazel with copies. And this is the first asparagus bed. Is in a great need of some support for asparagus. Now we moved the pallet from the other space, and just because I've been giving quite a few allotment tours as it was Nigel's birthday. So what we have here in the middle is lettuce, and these are kind of come and cut again, and we'll be harvesting that quite soon. It's ready, most of it is ready. And this is the one of the square flower beds, and so we mainly have dahlias here, and some of them are still emerging, some of them are out, and some beautiful salvias which were donated by a friend of mine. I also have some dill seedlings and some other salvias which I'm gonna plant today as well. So all the potatoes are looking great. I mean, these are flowering, and I think I can't make up my mind if they are Vilja or if they are Charlotte. I have a feeling they might be Vilja. I need to check that with the old video. Well, these are second earlies. My first earlies are here, and we will try to pull maybe 2 or 3 to see if actually we do have some for dinner today. I'm going to be planting sweet corn just past to the right of the scarecrow, and as you can see as we walk further up, there's another asparagus bed, and I think radishes are also ready to be harvested. So this is different view of the allotment. To the left I've got a couple of pear trees, and I planted cucumbers there, and towards me here in a hay is planted courgettes and few squashes, and I couldn't tell you which one is which. I can see they are looking better than when I put them in, so they're fairly happy. Some of them are flowering, but mainly male flowers at the moment. We're trying to sort the middle out. This is the last remnants of the rubbish we've been gathering here, and hopefully within a couple of weeks this is going to be covered. At the moment it's still in fairly sorry state. So in front of the horse box there is loganberry and tieberry, and for the first time I have to say they actually starting to have flowers, because we planted them last year quite late in the season. So they're starting to have flowers and growing quite strong, and I'm very excited about it. There are a few berries on that, so I'm going to check which one is this one, because I always mix them up. So this one on the right hand side is Tieberry, Buckingham Tieberry, so that one is loganberry. Now behind there is a thornless blackberry, and just to the right, so this is the second of the flower beds. and his sweet pea is in blossom, and some of the zinnias starting to flower, as well as nicotiana starting to have buds, and yes, nasturtiums are looking good. It's filling up a little. So we're gonna have a look quickly at the herb bed and what we've got here. Well, there's the sunflowers, which were kind of slightly dead last month, and that's just taken off now. So I've got thyme, and I did sow some herbs direct. I'm not quite sure how. I can see few of them emerging here and in a couple of other places. So this is an Asterian tree cabbage. There's some more of those lovely sunflowers going really strong. Some of the parsley I've done from seed. These came with quite handy discs, and I was very skeptical about it, but actually it works. There's a bit of a coriander going into seed, but I just leave it like that in my seed itself. And well, I can see some things germinating, and I'm not quite sure what it is, so I'm going to leave it for now. So the strawberry bed, just to the right of the main enclosed bit of the allotment, are flowering well. This is a little bit more in shade, so the sun comes a little bit later, but we have actually put the fabric netting over it, otherwise we won't get any fruit. I can see the first strawberry ready, so we should get some. I can see some are just starting to blush. Rhubarb, well, we'll leave the rhubarb this year, nothing, and we see how that progresses next year. The problem with this bed is I have cleared it up a bit, but it's got masses of red ants, and I've got terribly bitten by them. So I'm going to leave that for another week to clear the rest and maybe mulch it again. So I think the biggest job which awaits is actually sorting out my brassica bed, which just looks like a forest at the moment. And not just because the brassica, but there's some weeds amongst that. And this is the very reason why we didn't put asparagus here, because I would forever fight weeds. Having brassica here allows me to sort of weed, and then perhaps maybe put different crop here. I might put potatoes next year, and so on and so forth, because they're very persistent things growing here. But I can see that the Colette flower sprouts are doing great. Some of my Brussels sprouts are doing well. These are my perpetual cauliflowers. I think they're doing well as well. Lots of other things. Unfortunately, the labels are so low I can't read them, and I can't remember which plant is which. So these are the smaller flowers, so smaller plants. I can see a little cauliflower there, and these are still things to be planted. So I think I've got some, not turnips, perhaps turnips too, but some kohlrabi, which needs to be planted. I've planted some kales in this corner, and I'm hoping to finish the kohlrabi today. I'm trying to clear it from the weeds and put some cardboard and hay, because that's what we have, and our hay is definitely without any weed killer, so it will work okay. And I'm just looking at the beehive, and today is the day when we actually will be thoroughly inspecting it. I have seen some signs of hive robbing by wasps, and I just want to also check how they're progressing. It's long overdue. It's a lovely spot, and it's got a lovely double shade in the morning. It will gets a little bit sunny later on, but it still gives them quite a lot of protection. I think it looks absolutely enchanting. Well, this is the way to the wild pond. Unfortunately, we haven't had the time yet to do anything about it, but just behind that tree you can see the yellow irises leaves, and that's where it actually is. Behind the brassica bed, which looks like that from here, is the space for the greenhouse. So now we are in the main enclosure, and to the right of the entrance is the first of the very small beds, and this is some more parsley. This is the Italian giant parsley, and some new sown this year Swiss chard. I still haven't managed to take out these aqualesias from the what I call nursery bed. We still have few lettuces in this one and some garlic, and I cleared it off the winter spinach and letting them fatten up a bit. To the right hand side are the summer fruiting raspberries and autumn fruiting raspberries, and we're just coming into the our very first no-dig bed, which was potatoes last year, which there's an evidence of that everywhere, because they obviously volunteered this year, although I did think that I dug them out all. So we have broad beans interplanted with potatoes, and some of that broad beans is now really ready for harvesting, and we probably will be harvesting some of that today. Some of them this is the Acquadulce Claudia, which is the long podded, and indeed, if I look at the pods, they are quite long. Now these are the later planted in February, March, Karmazin and crimson flowering, and I just spotted that there is some black fly on them, so I think I might have to come with the scissors and cut them down a bit. Other than that, they just stopped flowering. They were so beautiful, but I will cut the tops off. The sweet corn is doing better, but again interplanted with potatoes, absolutely unintentionally. The overwintered what is it? It's called marigold. The overwintered marigold is doing particularly well, and again I can just show you how big are those pods on. I'm not quite sure if we can see that, but they're enormous. Probably here a little bit better view, so we should have some of that. The lavender hedge is coming along quite nicely, although it got a little bit buttered when we were putting this new cage for the soft fruit. I know that currants and gooseberries are not as popular as other things with birds, but we still don't want to lose them. Hence we have this cage Nigel built, and I can report that my lemon tree is sprouting leaves again. So the perseverance and trying to keep it alive, it did really pay off. And also the blueberries, they have been covered. That black fabric I use is really quite effective, they have loads of new growth, but they have also masses of beautiful blueberries underneath. I don't know if you can see that. All those lovely blueberries, they seem to be very, very happy here, but I did have to cover them. No signs of germination yet on this. This will be, I think, parsnip. And I think with my a little sort of daisies and things is blossoming beautifully, and so is the central flower bed. We normally put flags up for summer. We've done that last year. I had this made. I made them. I cut them up, and a friend of mine sewn the whole, I don't know, 30 meters of the flags, and they're always out for the summer. So when we have a few drinks, like last Friday was Nigel's birthday, and a few friends came here, and we just sat here with some nice sparkling wine and few nibbles, and that was very nice. I've done a few of these tours. Yes, I've done a few of these tours on Friday. So what we have in here, there's verbascum and some different type of verbascum, which I can't remember them off the top of my head, and they come a little bit later, so that's nice because it makes different sort of interest. And some of the lupin is just passing, and some of the lupin is just starting. And here the dahlias are coming, and as I cut the oxydaisies, they should dominate this bed. We had to stop. We had visitors to the allotment, and in the meantime things have happened. I just walked into the sweet corn, which is just been taken out of the polytunnel, because I'm going to be hopefully one evening planting it. So things have moved on since that since the break we had in filming, and in the meantime I have harvested the onion, and this is our onion haul. I have to say I am very pleased with this. This is more onions than I was expecting from that one small bed, and because we planted them fairly close, some of them are really very large and some of them are not so big. So depending how they space themselves out in the end, but they all fair size, and I'm not growing them for to be prize onions. So this is slightly smaller one. This is quite funky looking one. So besides that I love the sight of it, the smell is fantastic of the drying onions. It's really something very, very country. So now that we harvested the onions, I've got bed, clear bed, which I'm just gonna sow some, and I've got to get myself out of the shadow on this. So I'm gonna sow in this bed dwarf yellow bean called rock and cord, and another succession, so that there's gonna be Blauschoka pea, purple one. So we're gonna do a row of this and a row of the other. The leeks are still looking fantastic, and the time will come for them fairly soon, because we just started to take some of the new potatoes out. The mizunas definitely gone into seed, so I will have to sort that out. But the lettuces amongst them, I'm still lovely, and I'm still harvesting those. As we are next to the poly, let's just have a quick look inside. So what I've got here in this bed is mainly melons, and they have taken off now, so we will need to provide some support for these. The melons are in those little pots. I've got globe artichokes, which I planted the other week, and a couple of the smaller aubergines, the heirloom Viserba tree. There's, I think, some asters and some other flowers waiting to be planted in the beds. The aubergines in the buckets are doing really well. They're flowering and they're setting fruit. Let me just show you that. So if I look at that, they have to be, if you look at the flower closely, there is a little aubergine in there, and I've got a couple of them with they're just setting fruit. So I do come and I usually take a leaf of the aubergine and kind of try to pollinate them myself. And the tomatoes, I think these are Craigella and Alicia Craig. These two Craigella, there's Alicia Craig. These are the same one as the one outside. There are various varieties, the same time sown. Just these, because they were more vigorous, I put them in a bigger pot. And didn't have the space for them, so they just stay in a polytunnel. I didn't have intention to do that. However, it's now happened. So here's the Mizuna forest and some other lovely lettuces, which we harvest just outer leaves of. And these are my peas, and this is pea progress number 9, and you can see the flower is white, and the first nasturtium, don't know if you can see that, but the first nasturtium is out, and also the purple flowering pea, and here we are, that's starting flower. There is some beans which we sown very late because the previous beans failed, and the same on this side. And I believe that there is a first nasturtium here as well. So it's all very exciting. This is my cauliflower bed with some cauliflowers, and obviously that one looks like some sort of sprouting broccoli, which I'm going to harvest today and take it with me. And some of the other cauliflowers are being yellow, but the heads are getting bigger. I know you should pinch them together, but I failed to do that. There is some growth on the peppers, and we'll leave them as they are. And this is new and exciting. This is a frame, tomato frame, which Nigel put together for our outdoor tomatoes. So they seem to be doing well, considering they were very early sown, and everybody was sort of upset about it. I saw my tomatoes so early. I posted something on one of the websites, on the Facebook pages, and I got some reprimands. However, we managed to keep them going, and I think they look perfectly fine and healthy and flowering now, and I think they're gonna be okay. However, I'm really loving the cage. I'm gonna leave you with the haul of some of the stuff we're gonna take today. It was a really long one today. Thank you for watching, if you lasted that long. And next week I will show what my back garden looks like. So hopefully see you then. Bye bye for now.